What is up? This is your boy, Alert Wolf, here to bring you another anime review, and this time I'm bringing it on Majestic Prince, episode 15, Defending Vista. Now, this episode follows up what happened in the last episode with Izuru going into in his like ultimate mode in his big ass robot, right? And he passed out after that, and so he's been in the hospital this whole time. And when he awakes, his sync levels are still at their peak, right? So he still hasn't come down from it. Now, and during a discussion, there was a warning between the commander, you know, the dude with the glasses, and their captain or whatever, the chick. As they're talking, he's like, since they're built out of their DNA at the core, they have their own personalities. And what could happen is, when they activate their ultimate state like this, the one personality could be superimposed over the other. Meaning the personality of the mecha could take over the personality of the pilot. Now this goes with what I thought the representation of doing that homage to that old Spider-Man cartoon where the costumes were going at each other in the dream sequence in the last episode. So this is right. These units do have sort of, and we've seen them use their will, obviously, the fight or flight response, demonstrated early in the anime. So we definitely have seen evidence of this before this. Now, how did this affect Izuru? Well, what it did was it amplified his personality to the level of cool, and it was freaking them all out. What I mean is, he became more self-confident and slightly more cheesy, and it kind of makes sense because it's like an amplified, smoother version of himself, right? And so the whole team is kind of freaked out by this, and they each individually test him. Finally, Purple's pilot, she makes him a cake full of sugar, which almost kills him, and that snaps him out of it. And his sync levels return back to normal, and he turns back into his regular self. However, his particular unit is being fixed by everybody, and is not battle operational when the Doberman team gets themselves into trouble. They end up fighting two different teams. You had the green team of Woogaroo, and you had the orange team of Woogaroo. Now, the orange team's leader, he's into reconnaissance and tech stuff. You know what I mean? So he goes down to try to figure out information on these guys. He's trying to gather information and hack into their network. But basically, because Red 5 is unable to battle, Black 6 is put in the center of the formation and sent out. Now, obviously, when he gets onto the battlefield, he goes into Berserker mode and is hard to contain. And he ends up getting himself into trouble because he separated too much from the team and is being overwhelmed. This is when Red 5, Izuru, goes to snap into action. And basically, he goes down, and their team already realized he'd go into battle and left them with just the core fighter. Now, in case you guys forgot, the core is basically the mecha before the armor's attached to it. Before all the customized armor is attached to it. So basically, it's, you know, it's like a dude, it's like a knight just showing up there on the battlefield by, you know, just wearing clothing instead of a full suit of armor. You know what I mean? Now, this has obvious benefits, as is he is super mobile and really able to just move better. And he seems like he's on a different level. His presence on the battlefield institutes an immediate shift. Meanwhile, the orange leader is siphoning information and breaking the firewalls and finding out info on the team. Now, even in his core fighter state, he's able to overpower the green leader's transformed state because he's much more mobile than he is, and he shoots him a bunch of times. Finally, they're forced to retreat and pull out. And Izuru saves the day once again, but not realizing that this battle was a distraction for the orange team leader to do what he came to do, which for them, it was a successful mission. So both the enemy succeeded and the good guys succeeded. So that's something to note. And Black's pilot is surprised that once again he's needed to be saved. And hopefully this will teach him, even in his berserk form, that he cannot handle it all on his own. He should rely on others more and trust his team. But we'll see what happens as time progresses. And basically, they're all talking, and we get back to the commander, the dude with the glasses, finds out that their information has been accessed and on an external site, and that's when we get to the Woogaroo throne room, and the orange dude walks in. Now, I didn't mention this before. The orange dude notices that the princess has been helping him, and he says, "I found our target where we need to go," and he picks out the academy. And there's a reason for this. The academy is full of kids who's been genetically altered. Thus, they are the genetic perfection of our humanity, so to speak. And these guys are looking for genetic distinction. And if all of these guys had a mecha, it would be a school full of badass dudes. I mean, obviously, we've learned from previous episodes that these are all the units they've been able to create thus far. But you got to stop the pilots before they get the units. So it's going to be crazy to see where this goes from here. Obviously, they're making a play for the school, meaning they're going to attack her directly, and I can't wait to see it. So what am I going to give this episode? I'm going to give this episode a 3.5 out of 5. The reason for it is it just had a good balance of comedy, action, and we got more story progression at the end. And these are all very key things to know. So I really liked it. And again, obviously the animation is flawless. The pacing was very good. And at no time did you ever really feel bored. And like I said, this is I'm glad I chose this anime. It has very interesting things on being surrounded by a light-hearted shell. It has deeper concepts below that. And I love animes that have layers to them. Even though on the surface you may say, "Hey, Alert Wolf," no, this is just a straightforward anime. There's nothing below it too deep. But there are subtle layers. There are subtle layers to this anime. That's what I'll say. But that's enough out of me. So click it up if you like it. Comment if you must. Please, please, please subscribe if you can. I will not stress that enough. I'm almost at 100 subscribers, guys. So if you're watching this right now, I'd love to get to 100. I have a couple of things special planned, so you want to be a part of it. And this is Alert Wolf checking out.